Welcome back. Here's something that rarely happens. Maker's Mark has a new bourbon. This fall, Maker's introduced a limited edition called RC6.
It's on with Maker's Mark. Jane Bowie, how are you doing today?
Are you kidding? It's Monday and we're getting ready to taste bourbon.
We're tasting
I'm
bourbon.
fantastic.
How can you not be happy?
Listen,
good.
I said Seth was actually supposed to be off today. He volunteered to come into work just because of this segment. He is so excited about it.
The 12-hour drive that I had yesterday throughout the day and the 4 hours of sleep I'm working on were not enough to keep me away from this segment alone because I'm excited about the new release of the RC6.
Us too.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about it.
Okay, so as you know at Makers, we've been doing one thing for 65 years.
Okay.
And consistency, continuity, day in, day out quality is what we care about.
Right.
2010, Bill Samuels Jr., who I'm sure you both know, changed things up a little bit with Maker's Mark 46. And he created an expression of Makers that was really about his palate, where Makers was mom and dad in the 1950s.
Okay.
We've used this proprietary finishing technique to start exploring flavors. So, newest kid on the block, limited release. It's going to be a one and done.
Okay.
Right place to say that.
Right.
Maker's Mark RC6. RC6 stands for the proprietary virgin oak stave we're putting in to finish the Maker's Mark in. And the inspiration behind this was our Samuels family yeast strain that we propagate on site every day.
Okay.
It's fruity, it's bright, it's got some spice. So we thought fall, it's a great time to drink an expression of Maker's just like this.
Is it a big difference when you drink it from, say, the original Maker's Mark?
It is. You know, Maker's, all of these expressions come from Maker's Mark, and they're all just highlighting different key flavor attributes. Typically with bourbon, caramel and vanilla get the top billing coming from the new oak, right? We wanted to showcase the fruit that our distillery team works so hard to still propagate on site every day. And this yeast strain dates back to the 1800s, so it's part of Kentucky history.
Yeah. Is it just the yeast strain, or is there something maybe with the wood that goes into it?
So the wood is highlighting those flavor attributes
so
that are
that's what's
coming from
pulling
these.
it out.
Yes. So only difference between Makers and 46 Private Select and this new RC6 is we're finishing it with oak for a few weeks in our bourbon limestone cellar, cold environment, and we've actually brought the guy that does all the coopering on site in Loretto, Kentucky every day with us to show you guys what that process looks like and how it goes from Makers to these finishing expressions.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get on over to the array. There you go. And let's go ahead and get it started.
All right, let's do it.
I've never seen this before. This is cool.
So what Chris has done is, this is a fully matured barrel of Maker's Mark. So gang, we just dumped this whiskey out this morning before he brought this here.
Oh, wow.
So you need to get your nose in there. It's amazing.
Yeah, let's bring the party on over here. Okay, so
this is fully matured Maker's Mark. The Makers we all know and love and consume, you know, me every day, you maybe less.
Careful. I know it's pretty strong.
So about 6-year-old whiskey, we dump it out of the barrel. Then what's gonna happen is we're gonna put proprietary oak staves inside the barrel, and I brought them somewhere.
Yeah.
I think I left them on the table.
That's all right, it's live TV. We're gonna get this going.
We'll figure it out.
Of course.
So what do you smell coming out of there?
Well, obviously Maker's Mark bourbon, but I get a little, some different flavors, some notes, things of oak. You know, obviously. What are you getting?
You're the bourbon expert. I just
listen,
sip
I'm
and
only an
enjoy.
expert until I'm put on the spot.
So what we're gonna do, this is American white oak. So the barrel's been charred. This has been actually baked in a convection oven to highlight different flavors. We're gonna put 10 of these inside the barrel, and then we're gonna refill the entire barrel full of the Maker's Mark cask strength we just dumped out.
Wow.
Okay.
Then we're gonna lay the barrel back down in our limestone cellar for 9 weeks, and it transforms from that classic Makers to RC6.
Wow.
The name, terrible name. Margie Samuels was good at naming things. We're all terrible. Makers 46. We tease Bill, worst name ever. Is named after this proprietary oak stave that we make.
That's great. That's great. And if you've never done it, you need to take a tour, Maker's Mark. It is such a cool place. Our pet of the day is next. Thank you.